Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing kind of like a first impressions foundation and like primer review. It's just like a couple new items from Physicians Formula, and I really wanted to do a video on it because this foundation looks like it's going to be really good in my opinion, and it's a little bit different than other foundations. And they also have a couple new items that I just want to test out and see if they're good or not. No, this video is not sponsored, and even if it was, who cares? But it's not. It's just me being curious to see if these products work. Also, before we get into it, I just want to say I hope everyone had a great Christmas if you celebrate that, and New Year's. I had a really good New Year's. I got to spend it with my friends, and I'm sorry about not posting yesterday on Tuesday and posting today on Wednesday. For those of you who are like really punctual with my videos, I just wanted to spend another extra day with my family and just kind of take the day off. I wasn't really feeling my best on Monday, which is my usual film day. That was the day after New Year's Eve, so New Year's. You can imagine why I wasn't feeling very good, but I just kind of like spent the day with my family and yeah, just took that day off. So we're gonna hop right into it. I don't have my brows done because there is a brow product that I want to try from Physicians Formula. I'll put that on after the foundation. So I'm just gonna hop right into it, I guess. First I'm gonna put on the primer that comes with it. This is the Physicians Formula Spotlight Illuminating Primer. And I'm pretty excited about this because I love illuminating primers. They are my favorite kinds of primers because I do have dry skin. It's taking a little bit of time to come out. Looks like it's got a lot of highlight to it. I'm just gonna put that everywhere. It smells pretty good. It smells like kind of just like a normal face moisturizer almost. It just smells clean, not too intense or perfumey. It definitely did add some highlight to my face. I'm gonna look at it close up. It looks like there could be a little bit of sparkle in it, but that might go away when I put the foundation on. I'll also, let me see with flash. Oh yeah, you can see there's a little bit of sparkle like around my upper lip. I don't know how that's gonna look once everything is done. I'll test this out again. You guys see that sparkle? I don't know how I feel about that. I'll test it out again once the foundation is on and like everything is covered, but I just hope that it doesn't stay sparkly because that's a no-no in my book. Okay, so then going in with foundation, I'm using the Physicians Formula Healthy Glow Foundation. It has SPF 20, and this is in the shade LC1. And it just looks like this, and it has a concealer applicator. That's why I was so intrigued by it, because it's just a little bit different than your normal like pump or bottle foundation, I guess you could say. So on one side of my face, I'm gonna do a beauty sponge, blend it in with a beauty sponge. I'm using the Real Techniques complexion sponge. And then on the other side, I'm gonna use a foundation brush. I think today I'm gonna use this Rogue & Rouge foundation flat top brush. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start by just swiping it right on. I do really like this shade of foundation. I tested it on my face a little bit before I started filming just so I had the right shade. It smells like the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in. It smells a little bit like the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation, kind of like paint a little bit, if you guys don't know what that foundation smells like. Definitely not as strong as the Wet n Wild one, but it does have that like faint scent to it. So not the greatest coverage with that sponge, but it does look good on my skin. It's not cakey or anything. I'm gonna go ahead and do my forehead, and then we'll possibly do another layer. A little bit on my nose, and also bringing it down. So, I mean, it looks good. It's not too cakey. I can tell that it did cover up some of my redness a little bit, but it's just a really light coverage foundation with the sponge at least. So I'm gonna try one layer with this brush and see how that goes over, and then we'll possibly do another layer all over the face. So I do think it covered up a little bit better with the brush. Like the brush made it a little bit more full coverage. It looks really good on my face. I feel like it doesn't look cakey at all, and I really, really like the shade. It matches me super well. I'm gonna go ahead and do one more layer all over my face and see how it looks after that. Okay, so it definitely is buildable. I see it has a lot more coverage now that I did a second layer. I can still tell that the brush side is a little bit more full coverage than this side, but both sides look really good. The foundation applied really well with both the brush and the sponge. I didn't have any problems. It looks really natural on my skin. I'm gonna go ahead and put the flashlight on my face one more time just to see if the primer pops through. So it's definitely not as sparkly with the light shining directly on it. So that's good to know. I'll do another test with the light when I'm all powdered up and stuff. So while we're letting this dry down, I'm gonna tell you guys a few things about this foundation. It is for sale right now. I don't know if it's in stores or if you can only buy it online. I wanna say it'll eventually be in stores. But it is for sale on their website right now, and it has 16 different shades. I do think that it could go way lighter, and I do think that it could go way darker. Maybe they're just testing out to see how well this foundation does before they expand the range. I hope, because it definitely could go a lot lighter. Again, I am not an expert at like super, super dark shades of foundation. I don't know the right tones and the right like shades and undertones and stuff like that when it comes to really dark foundations, but I do know that they could have gone a lot darker. But like I said, they just came out with it. Usually foundations start with like the medium colors first to see how well it does in the market, and then if it does really well, they expand the range. It is $14.95. I don't know if I said that, $14.95. And sorry, I'm just reading off my phone. I'm not trying to like be rude or anything. Here's some facts about it. It is a long-wearing, buildable, and breathable foundation that provides a lightweight, medium to full coverage with a healthy satin finish. So they do claim that it is like medium coverage, but you can build it up to be full coverage. I don't know if I would say that it is full coverage, but it's definitely a good medium coverage foundation. It is compatible with all skin types, featuring our exclusive brightening complex hyaluronic acid to hydrate, brighten, and improve the appearance of skin tone. Added boosts of vitamin A, C, and E provides a healthy, flawless coverage. Blah de blah de blah, claims to be good for your skin like all foundations do. But yeah, so it has dried down. I'm gonna go ahead and put on some concealer, powder, bronzer, and stuff, and then we're gonna get started with the eyebrows. Okay, now that my whole face is done, I'm gonna go ahead and try this new brow product out. This is called Brow Last Long Wearing Brow Gel, and I'm using the color Blonde. This is also available on their website, and it is $10.95. So let's go ahead and see how it works. So it looks like this, and then you can take off the lid. Yeah, brush out your eyebrows with a little spoolie, and then I believe you just twist this off. And it's like a little angled brush with the gel on it. There's a little tiny stray here, so I'm gonna cut that off. And I'm just gonna go for it. Okay, I wasn't too sure about the brow color when I first put it on because it looked almost like yellow greenish, kind of like the Iconic London brow cushion thing when I used it first. But I was just like, okay, let it dry down, see how it looks after a few minutes. And I actually really like the color. It's like kind of the perfect taupe. It's still a little bit yellowy in my opinion, but I'm sure that'll go down once it dries all the way. Okay, so now that my face is done, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it on as long as I possibly can, probably around like 7 hours, 6 or 7 hours, and see how it looks. I'm already starting to see a little bit of smile lines forming. I mean, what's new? I never get around smile lines. So we'll see how those look after a few hours. But yeah, this is what my face looks like right now. I did come to the conclusion that it did oxidize just ever so slightly, only a little bit, nothing too bad to where I like went, whoa, I need to put on like a lighter shade of foundation, just a little bit. A lot of foundations do that, so that is something to consider when you're buying your shade. But yeah, that's pretty much the only thing that I noticed. I like it so far. Let me check my face with the flash really quick. That's the highlight, the sparkly part. I'm not really seeing any sparkles besides my highlighter, so that is a good sign. But I will check back in with that after a few hours because I'm gonna get like sweaty and stuff, so the sparkles may like shine through the foundation or something. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I will check back in a couple hours or in a few hours and let you guys know my thoughts on it. Okay everyone, it's been about, I want to say 6 to 7 hours. I put this on at like 8 in the morning. 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. So it's been about 7 hours. I have been running around all day and I think I've worked up a sweat a couple times, and you know, I just really put this foundation to the test. I feel like it still looks pretty good. I did notice that it's getting a little cakey around my mouth. I don't know if you can see it breaking up down here and up here like by my nose. I have some smile lines going on, and also my glasses have left a mark. I mean, that happens pretty much every time I'm wearing foundation and my glasses, so it's not like super abnormal for that to happen, and I usually just like pat it in like this. It doesn't really ever look too bad. But I don't really know how to feel about this whole situation around my mouth. I want to say maybe that wouldn't have happened if I had only done one layer of foundation. It just is a little bit broken up and looks kind of cakey. Not really something that I like at all. And also the primer could have had something to do with that. Maybe it's a little too moisturizing, maybe it's a little too slick, and that kind of made the foundation break up a little bit. My nose is looking a little bit greasy. I want to say it's not just from the highlight, it's probably from the primer combined with like me getting hot throughout the day. I mean, other than like my mouth area, I think that the foundation looks really good. Maybe the next time that I wear this, I'll use a different primer and only do one layer of foundation. But yeah, I think this is a good drugstore foundation if you're looking for something medium to light coverage, something that's probably gonna last you for a really long time, because this is a pretty big bottle and you don't need much product because the applicator really only allows you to get so much product at a time, which I think is kind of nice. And yeah, I definitely would only recommend the primer to someone who has super dry skin. If you are oily at all, I probably would avoid that primer. It's really moisturizing and a little bit greasy, I want to say, but I really enjoy the eyebrows. I think that the color looks really good. They haven't moved at all. They feel super waterproof, so I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. But yeah, I'll let you guys kind of determine how you feel about the foundation yourself. I'm not going to tell you to go buy it or to not go buy it. I will probably be using this more in the future. I really need to test out foundations 2 or 3 times to determine whether I hate it or I like it usually. So I need to figure this stuff out and see what works for me. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys had a great holiday season again, and here's to a new year and to starting fresh. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye guys.